walk with you on your block and teach you crime prevention, pointing out actual illustrations on your block. So that's something we could do. And pray for no rain, for a nice day. Sharon and I do home and business assessments. Those are by appointment only. Also, another thing I want to mention, crimemapping.com. That's a good website to track crime that resulted in police reports being written. And you can subscribe to that. You can put in your address. You can put in the types of crimes you want to know about. Sign yourself up to get alerts. And you'll be notified for incidents that happen in your area.
Is it our right to know what happened?
You can know the 100 block, but you can't know the specific address for privacy concerns. Police reports, you can request a report, but if you're not on it, listed on it, we can't release it to you. Through here, you can go down to APD records and talk to the records custodian. There's a law called the IPRA law, Inspection of Public Records Act, and the records custodian, you can run it through there, and they're the ones that handle that.
What was that website again, please?
Crimemapping.com. So I wanted to know if you would go through, maybe like 3 of you, and tell me one tip that you learned tonight that you're going to put into practice. How about Susan? Susan knows all the tips, though.
The security film, I wasn't aware of that.
Oh, good.
That's a good
Security film. Yes.
The garage door.
Yeah, that's so important for your safety. Anyone else? Yes.
Going across the street and looking back at my house.
Yeah. A lot of people don't think about it. We're so entrenched in our own little patterns. Anyone else have a tip that they're going to use the minute you get home? How about cleaning those light covers every 5 years?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I went 4 minutes over, just like last month. I'm getting better, though. Yes.
Jill, I just have a quick question on your home business, your business assessment, home assessment.
Yeah.
Do we just call 212 cops or how?
No, call me at the substation. Sharon does those. Every crime prevention specialist in the city does them out of the substation. Just call that substation. They take about 45 minutes. Maybe an hour if we really get to talking. And I always try to bring an officer with me if they're not busy on a call, because I like 2 sets of eyes, and it's just helpful for you to meet your beat officer as well.
So just the general number then for that substation?
Yeah, just call the substation, ask for Jill, and we'll get to you.
Your substation numbers are on the back of the brochures, so Foothills is there, Northeast, and all the rest of them, so just call and ask for whichever crime prevention specialist.
Diane, you have a question?
Yeah, this probably isn't for you, maybe the lieutenant, but he's not here, but, you know, this is the most dangerous city I've lived in my life this last year. Every year it gets worse, so, yeah, I'm looking for maybe a little hope for an uptrend. Can you enlighten me a little bit on that?
You know, one thing that I think hopeful, the jobs that we do in reaching out to the community, I don't know about you, how many people you track that you talk. I talked to 16 different people today on the phone, did a workshop for 30. I mean, we're doing the best we can to push this information out. Utilize the websites, come to these community meetings, participate. I can't stress it enough.
And if you're frustrated, go to the city.
Well, but what I'm saying is, I mean, obviously this is a wonderful thing, you know,
Yeah.
I think that, but what I'm curious about is, what are we gonna do about the criminals, you know, like, what?
Start talking to your legislators, your
Yep.
city councilors, your state senate, and tell them to keep them in jail longer than rather than 1 day, because the problem is our poor officers are out there dealing and taking care of like the residential burglaries, the auto burglaries, the things that are happening across the city. They arrest them, they take them into jail, the next day they are back out.
And I
Because
found,
we can't hold them.
Yeah.
JJ.
Just as an example of that, when I started working at the city so many years ago, I worked at APD Maine. The guy got out of jail, went over, stole my car from the police department parking lot, took it and broke into a house.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
both.
So it's just,
Yeah.
Well, and I think KOB has been very informative. I
Oh,
don't
with
know.
that boomerang bug.
KOB is
Yeah.
right on top of it, boy.
I like
They're-
the title.
That's a great,
Yeah,
that's
they're-
a great
it's-
series.
It's where the
Yeah.
community is working together with the media to try to address the criminal problem with APD.
police.
Yeah, so I think
Yeah.
that was it's a very good thing that they're doing
And here's the
that.
thing too to keep in mind, you know, it didn't really happen overnight.
No.
And a lot of crime prevention, we have old habits that we haven't changed to keep up with today's world. It doesn't mean it's a terrible world, it means some of our habits need to be tweaked and updated a little bit, yes.
Is there any data that you know of for this area that we're talking about of the average age of the home break-in?
That's a good question. I don't have data. I bet crime analysis could probably pull it from reports where they have arrests. But I would venture to say, well, I don't want to say because I can't be sure. But here's one thing I can tell you. A lot of this is fueled by drug addiction habits
Yeah.
and having to feed that habit. And when you're in that mode, that is all you're thinking about. You're not thinking about, I'm hurting Dorothy. I'm scaring Susan's family. I'm victimizing Diane and I've turned her life upside down temporarily. They're just thinking of, I am so physically uncomfortable and addicted that I need to fix this and steal something for quick cash. And, you know, for me personally, this is my opinion. I don't speak for the department on this, but my opinion, I think it is tragic that we do not take life as life comes and handle life's ups and downs, and that we don't want to be fully present in our own lives, and that we want to cloud it with substances. And that's just me, but until we can get a handle on this.
That's another question I have is you never hear about any big drug busts. And we know that this is a channel from Mexico. What's happening with that? Why aren't we hearing about big drug busts, not just going after the little street dealer, but
Yeah,
the
It's not
importing?
something that the public's necessarily gonna know. I mean,
right.
being a neighborhood, like, an association representative, we go ahead and we go to certain meetings. You know, Paul and I, we try to show up at a lot of meetings. The city is working really hard, the state is working really hard.
Related to the drug, to
They
getting
are,
the
they
importing?
understand what the issues are, they represent all of us, believe me. The things that we get in the media is the fact that what people aren't doing, they're not talking about what people are doing. You, honestly, representatives want to talk to all of us, they want to tell you the struggles they're having, and they need butts in seats, they need people to show up to their meetings. Like the CPC meeting, there were like 10 representatives, out of which I think 6 of us were from one community association. You know,
And I
it's
think
things
District
like that.
9, according to the census, because I called Counselor Harris's office
Yeah.
a while back, but we've got 90.25 square miles and over 100,000 residents. And when you have something this vital and important to the community and 10 citizens show up, I'm doing my best, so help me,
Yeah.
have my back, help me get the word out.
You're the only one that I fell upon your site, somehow I fell upon it, and I was
I'm
like,
glad you did.
yeah, and that's the point, why, because I try to be aware of all the things that are going on to see if we're gonna fix these problems in this city, because we've got a lot of problems here. And I ended up falling upon yours, but I don't know if there's enough communication about it.
And just
either.
remember this too, it's a community-wide problem. It's gonna take a community
Yeah.
to tackle it and address it. It's not just, the judges, it's not just the police officers, it's everybody.
That's right.
We're
I
all in
agree.
this together.
Starting with the judges, is one big,
How do we get?
And
to-
they're elected.
Yeah, I know, but
How do we get to? your
nobody
law?
keeps running tally.
How do
Oh, you've got a flyer in your packet. And League of Women Voters, they do, yeah, do they still do that?
No.
Well, just get involved. We're 10 minutes over, so my goal, my promise was get you in and out in an hour. Sharon and I are going to be here, picking up the room. Please fill out the feedback forms.
And leave your pen.
And leave the pins, because again, you know, taxpayer money, we've got to
That's right.
safeguard that.
Well, this either donated, I think, it's Caldwell Baker.
Oh, see how
But that's
low
okay.
I've gone?
That's okay, we like that,
I
that's
didn't
efficient,
steal
that's
it.
efficient.
I could come by, I'm gonna try to come by tomorrow to pick some of these. We're gonna have our neighborhood association meeting.
Perfect.
Thanks so much.
Early next
Thank
month.
you.
So we'd like to
Thanks
have
for
these
coming.
have
Well, you know, I just
Make
think
it
it's
fine.
wonderful.
Okay, so
Like,
just
I
come
don't
in
remember how I felt on it,
and
like,
I
I'm
said,
signing up for that.
tell them
Like, I
you
read
don't
it.
purchase that.
Okay, thank you very much.
Now you know. Thank you.
You bet.
Oh, thanks for coming. Thank you. Sure.